Greetings. This is Judy from NWOET, and today I am going to be showing you some of the new resources that have been added to Ohio's pre-K to 12th grade library named INFOhio. I'm going to be sharing my screen and actually going live into the INFOhio website rather than just showing you a slide presentation. So let's get started, and I will share my screen. We'll go right to the new INFOhio homepage. It looks similar to last year, but one of the updates that has been added this year is the Educator tab is right here so that it's more visible. It was down below. You had to scroll down. There's always been the Educator Tools there, but now we have more than just the Educator Tools within the Educator link there. And just to go in to show you some of the Educator Tools, you can see that there is a document library. There's a kind of a help thing to go along with the new Capstone Interactive eBooks that I'll be showing you later in the student collection. And there are direct links into the Remote edX collection of lessons and other resources. And of course, the Educator Tools is part of this Educator page. And if you've never delved into it, you can find great resources, lesson plans that have been shared by other educators. And there's even similar resources in a place called Open Space that is for pre-K to 12 educators. And again, you can add your own ideas, your great lesson plans that you might like to share with others in that, whereas the Educator Tools is a resource that has been curated from many different states. And right now, I guess today, there are 94,951 curated resources, and you can sort very carefully and type the type of resource you're looking for. If you're looking for a video or you're looking for a learning game, you can see, you can filter your search after you do one with the search bar up here. It's pretty cool. If you've not, and it's not new, but the putting it on the INFOhio homepage was something that has been added. So let's delve right into the resources for elementary, and we're going to go and to use the grades K to 5. Many of the same ones that are for the pre-K are on this page as well. The first one I want to emphasize is not new itself, but BookFlix is the most used resource of the INFOhio resources by the teachers, students, and parents here in Ohio. But I want to just click on that eye. I clicked on the little eye that was in the corner of that button and let you know that there are some new books that have been added every fall. They have new books that are added, and you can go in to look at all of the title lists. So we're just going to click on the title list there, and you can actually download a list of all the titles that are included here. I didn't mean to actually click on that. It's a spreadsheet type file, but that's one of the options you have to look at all the titles. And you can look at the BookFlix fact sheet, and again, can be downloaded as well. Some people ask for a list of these, and so that's where you would find the list. And this fact sheet is updated in August of 2021, so that is something new. So just want to let you know where some of those resources are in BookFlix. Okay, somehow we got, I'm sorry, I'm sharing my screen and then I closed the INFOhio page. So going back in, Okay, the next resource that is completely new, I think they had it up around July 1st, but for this school year, it's called Capstone Interactive Books. And if you click on the little I, which I like to have teachers do to start with, you get some information about it. If there's any webinars about this new resource, it will be in here. And you can actually, there's even bookmarks that you can print for your students. But what this is a collection, it says, of over 500 books. When I looked today, I think there were 817 books for grades 3 to 6 on the topics of science and social studies. So we're just going to go here directly and open it instead of going back. And this is what Capstone looks like. I like that you can search for the grade level as far as interest for all these grades. Remember, the collection we have is as pretty much 3rd grade through 6th grade. If you click on kindergarten, you will see you can still search and use those books. You also can search, let's click that closed. You can search by guided reading level. And you can see there, you can search the lowest. And again, you're not going to find any books in theirs because INFOhio purchased mainly books with the reading levels between 3rd and 6th grade. And you even can search on the Lexile range. And again, I searched on lesson 450 and there were no books listed, but all these other 3 Lexile ranges, you can find the books in that level. And teachers can create book lists for their students of books that they choose. I do not have any book lists made yet. Right now, there are 817 books. And the best way to sometimes is just to go do a visual search to see what looks exciting for your students or to let them search. But you can search for the topics through the search for books right here. So also you can search for just Spanish titles. And right now, nothing comes up. So not quite sure when that will be or if Ohio didn't purchase that. So, okay, we'll go back to just the English titles. And again, I may just not have let it search far enough. So I will check that out later. But again, the visual search is just you scroll down, it starts with the letter A, and you actually can do the newest books they've added or the most popular and search. And basically you just keep scrolling and it just keeps adding, not adding, but it keeps going through the alphabet for books. And I think kids like to see the covers. I mean, some of them are very attractive and that will excite them about maybe going in, especially like right now, Ghosts and Atoms. And in each book, you will find summary, book information, and more titles from the series if there are any. Book information, this will give, I think, things more where the teachers can look at the Lexile level of the book, how long it runs to go through. But well, let's just get started here on the book. And play the book. And you can see it can be read page by page or all at once. Let's do the top page.
Ghosts and Atoms by
Again,
Jody Wheeler
you
Toppin,
can turn the
PhD,
sound off if it's something
illustrated
that you
by
want
Studio
to
House.
do. And so we will turn off the sound just to show you. Now this one is kind of like a cartoon, which I think kids really sometimes are more attracted to reading a cartoon than actual pages and pages of words. So that gives you a look at that book. Right now, when I'm recording it, it's right in mid-October. So I just thought I would pick that book for your enjoyment that had the theme of ghosts to go along with Halloween. So that's Capstone Interactive eBooks. And if we go backwards, we can get back to our list of in alphabetical order. So that was Capstone Interactive, but remember, even though it says 500, they're now 817 today. Okay, the next one is from the same company, and it's called PebbleGo Next. And it's, as it says in the description, designed for upper elementary students, grades 3 to 5. And it has articles, activities, videos, games from 5 databases: science, biographies, social studies, states, and American Indian history. Again, I'm going to click on the little I that gives you more information about this resource. And as you can see, there's gives you bookmarks again. There's even a poster. And if you want the title list from each of the different categories, you can get that by clicking here. And again, you see it it jiggles. It gives you a list of all these science titles all in one place, which could be downloaded or printed out. So we'll go back here and we will go right into the Pebble Next resource. And it can be searched here, or you can go into each one of the, let's do the American Indian history one, and then you have, how about Native Hawaiians here? Again, it's something like some of the is like an encyclopedia, I would call this, but you have the introduction, all of the resources in PebbleGo Next and in the Capstone can be read aloud, or the sound can be taken off, but there are activities to go with the different resources. Different tabs for different, so the sections are not really, really long. They're short, so the student could have them chunked to maybe their attention span. And then there's related articles. So, but that's the one section here in PebbleGo Next. You also can just take a spin and it will just bring up something on this, just out of their whole collection that students might not even know exists, to do a search to get a random article. You can copy the link right here instead of going up here and clicking on this. So if you were going to put it into Google Classroom, you could just go right here and that would be something you could copy and paste into a hyperdoc or something to go along with an assignment. There's an activity that goes along with this, and it's one on critical thinking, and it's a PDF. And so you can open this up and post it on perhaps Google Classroom or print it out for your students' use. And it's about this particular resource. I'm not Lenape. I'm not really even sure exactly how you say that Indian name. So I apologize if that is not correct. So we'll just close some of these things up. And going back, when you're in any of the pages that have the INFOhio title or this power button, you click on it and it will take you back to the home page. Once in a while, I find a page that doesn't snap back to the page. And so I've reported, and they've always fixed it almost immediately, just writing support@infohio.org. There's a little button up in the top right corner for reporting things to support as well. So you can just automatically write it. So let's go back into grades K to 5 again. And so we've gone through the Capstone and the PebbleStone Next. And next we're going to look at one that again has been in the list before other years, and that's Storia. But now Storia has additional books all the way from 3rd to 6th grade. Before the first year that Storia was available, they had grades 4, and then they added 5. And this year they've added grade 3 through 6 books. And so if you like Storia and have not used it, I'm not going to go into it since it's not a completely new one, but I want to let you know that the book collection has risen to more than 1,200 books. But just to give a real quick summary, in Storia, the students you create set up the your classroom with the students' names, and you can assign them books. You can assign the whole class books. They're eBooks. They can't be downloaded. They have to be used on a device with web access. But the students can take notes. They can highlight. And there is an assessment for each one of those books, and the teacher has access to the results of those assessments. So due to trying to keep this little video under 30 minutes, we're not going to go in to look at Storia, but I just want to let you know that it has been expanded. The next one, which I want to spend some time, is World Almanac for Kids. And it's not World Book. It's not related to the World Book Kids student or timelines or the early learning. It's by another company called INFObase. They're the ones that brought us Science Online for middle school and high school students. And this one is for elementary. There is the World Almanac Kids that is for the older grades. So if this seems too low, perhaps go into the 6 to 8 and look for the one that's just called World Almanac. That would be maybe for your higher level 4th or 5th grade students. You might let them try that. There's no restrictions for going in there. Going back, I didn't take you into the little eye there first to give you information. Again, if this is a resource you want to put in your materials link in your Google Classroom or your LMS, for Google Classroom, all you have to do is click on the Google Classroom icon, and it will ask you what class you're going to share this with. So it's loading my classes, and we'll just do the classroom demo one here. And then it'll say, do you want to create material, ask a question, create an assignment? Of course, I'm going to put this one under create material, and I click there, and it's, I can just say use this for our research project. And I don't need to give it a topic. When I'm all done, I can post it. I need to click up here and post it. And now it says that was there. Sometimes I've gotten this, that was an error, not quite sure. We're just going to save it for a draft. And later there was an error, dismiss the arrow. Let's try and see if that will let us do it again. Okay. Once in a while I've gotten an error, and usually it's when I'm doing something, demonstrating it to someone. So I'm not sure where the error results, but I'll try it again later today. So, but that's how you would do it. If you don't use Google Classroom, you use another learning management system, all you have to do is click here and it will give you a link. It's better than copying and pasting this link at the top, because that could possibly change, and this direct link will always get you there. So it's saying something about that didn't have the direct link, whatever. Okay, other things that would include, like there is a YouTube video on sharing links to licensed resources, but the what's new, since we didn't have this last year, you might want to watch this video about World Book for Kids and Kids Elementary. I was showing you Kids Elementary here, but this video is put together and will help introduce it to you if you wish to look at it. It's presented by an INFOhio staff member. And so we're not going to take the time to look at it. Usually they're at least 30 minutes to an hour long. So they really go into the details. So if you want to use it, I suggest possibly looking at this video, and you also can get a certificate, professional development certificate for the length of the video if you answer 80%. I believe it's 80% of the questions. Usually there are 5 questions and you have to get at least 4 right. But hint, hint, you can take the quiz as many times as you want to until you get them right to get your certificate. But it's definitely worth the time of watching, because again, if you have any questions about it, you always can go right to Lori Lee and send her an email and ask her about something that you might have a question about that particular resource, because she's an educator right here from Ohio. So let's see, one more thing I want to show you that you may not know about INFOhio and using it with your students. And that is the iSearch, which searches nearly everything that is in the INFOhio resources, although I have been checking out to see if the Capstone and the PebbleGo Next resources show up in an iSearch, and I will have to be honest with you, they did not. So I wrote a little email today, a support ticket to INFOhio staff to find out if they're going to be included. The highlights articles, which that was a resource added in the last year or so, were, but let's say that you want, your students are doing some research and it has to do with something in science. We'll just do cells. And it will bring up encyclopedia articles, basic sources, advanced sources, and I'm sure that basic sources will be far enough for your students in K-5, STEAM resources, and then open access. These 2 right here are the ones you'll probably want. The eBooks and videos will find books with digital content that are available through, this one is a video, how cells reproduce. Again, you definitely want to check it out, make sure it's going to suit your students' level. If your school has library services through the INFOhio library cataloging system, which is by a company called Dynex, the books that are in your school's library will actually show up here. You do not have to log in if you were at school. If you were at home, you might want to log in instead of using the username and password. In your media specialist or even on that login page, they can send it to you if you don't know what it is. So these are, like I said, the ebooks and videos. I am not logged in to any school right now. So if your school does not use, they use Fulat or some other company besides Dynex through INFOhio, they will not show up. Your local library's resources would not be here. And so that's what it would look like. But you can narrow this search to just whatever you want. If you have an author, you know, or a publisher, let's say you want Disney and Bill Nye, the science guy, and you want it to be a video recording, you can include those and it will pull out any of those other resources. And we want just cells because that's what I was searching for. So now when I go to the encyclopedias, it's not going to have as many. You even can search by just books or just publications. Limit your search down here if you just wanted World Book resources, and basic sources will be lower level sources that are, the reading level would be lower than the ones under advanced sources. So there's still 174,000 basic sources here, and depending on the abilities of your students, using iSearch might not be something that you would teach in kindergarten, but I definitely would, if you have a session with parents, let them know about INFOhio and how they can do an e-search with their students to assist them with the lower levels, because a lot of parents still don't realize that they have this resource available and that they don't have to log in at home. As long as they are in Ohio, it'll pick up their location and they will be able to get in if they have location services enabled and not disabled on their computers. Okay, I think we are about ready to let you know that those are the new things for this year in INFOhio for the elementary. We'll just put that up, but if you ever have any questions, you can email me or check at support@infohio.org, and that is, see the little email right up there. You just click on it and it will open up a page, and you don't even have to go to your own email. I mean, you'll give your email address and they'll answer you that way, and I guarantee you they will answer you fairly quickly. Usually it's within 12 hours. If it's on a weekday, I'll get an answer, even if they're just checking to find an answer from the publisher of the particular resource that you might have a question. So I thank you all for joining me today and hope that you will spread the word of INFOhio and what a great resource it is to all the students, parents, and educators here in Ohio. Thank you very much, and I'll be signing off. Have a good day.